Welcome to the Kansas City Star Sports Podcast. I'm Sam McDowell, Sporting Kansas City beat writer for the Star. Joined once again this week by Sporting Kansas City defender Ike Opara. Ike, thanks again for joining us as always.
Yeah, thank you for having me, and welcome back, listeners. I feel like getting some pressure from from listeners to keep going, but I don't know. I'm trying to please everybody, I guess. I don't know. It's been cool the last couple of weeks, so I'm happy to be on it.
Yeah, we're going to do something a little bit lighter tone this week, which is kind of dissect a little bit about what you like about the city. Obviously, it's been your home for what is it, 6-7 years now?
Yeah, 6.
Not your hometown though, so we're going to delve a little bit into that. Just kind of maybe some of your favorite things about the city, and also maybe test just how true of a Kansas Citian you are with some things we found online. So let's kind of do a little bit more general first, and tell us about where you grew up in North Carolina, and maybe just some things you experienced there that maybe I guess was a little bit of a culture shock when you moved out.
Yeah, no, I grew up in North Carolina, obviously Durham, where Duke University is, right in the middle of the triangle, which is Raleigh, Durham, Chapel Hill, and spent, up until I went to college at Wake Forest, which is still in North Carolina, and Winston-Salem, 18 years of my life in Durham. And so Durham is unique in that part of the state because of, I think with political views and just kind of the nature of the people, it kind of stands out as progressive in North Carolina. And where I grew up was, diverse with all ethnicities, and usually a lot of people, when they think North Carolina or South, they don't really think diversity as much, or maybe they do, but they don't truly understand it unless you live there. But I think what I realized between similarities between here and Kansas City, regardless of maybe statistics, are it feels like a community. I think everyone, there's just a lot of pride in both the cities that I growing up there and now living in Kansas City. There's a lot of pride, and everyone's proud of people who come out of Durham, just like people who come out of Kansas City and give back to the community, and both are very hands-on in that regards. So
you were traded to Kansas City and to late 2012. I think it was December maybe 2012. So 2000, right? Is that right?
Yeah, end of 2012 was mine. Yeah.
Okay, so tell us first of all, when you hadn't lived here, what your perception from the outside of Kansas City was.
Yeah, no. So I was like one of the many people didn't know if it was in Kansas or Missouri. To be honest, I had no idea. I thought it was a flyover state. Actually, my first trip on the road here, you fly into the airport, and if you're a visitor or tourist, you're like, all right, well, this is what kind of airport is this? You caught the question about where are the restaurants? Where's anything?
Yeah, but it's out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah,
too, yeah.
Well, until you live here, you actually don't appreciate maybe how convenient it is. If you're running a little late for a flight, you can just hop in, and you still be by 10 minutes. It's like there's a lot of convenient things if you live here, but if you're kind of passing by or flying into it as a visitor, you're kind of like, all right, well, this is an interesting airport. And then you get out of the airport and you get on the bus, and you drive into the hotel, and you're kind of like, okay, this is some fields, this middle of nowhere. Is this what I expected? And I'm like, oh, this is, well, yeah, maybe it's what I expected of Kansas. And you're like, oh wait, or is it in Missouri? And so you really don't have any idea. And then you drive up towards the city, and then you see the skyline. You're like, okay, this came out of left field. Where am I? And so you kind of left thinking what am I getting? What is Kansas City? And you don't really spend much time when you're on the road. You can't really go out and go to districts that many that we have in Kansas City, or really get to experience or put time into learning about the culture of the people and all of those things. But and then you go to the hotel. You go from the hotel to the game, the stadium, and you kind of drive through. You're going 70. You kind of just drive through more fields, and then you see the Speedway pop up, and then you're like, oh, NASCAR, it's kind of what I expected. And then you see the beautiful stadium, and so you kind of stuck in this narrow-minded box a bit of what you expect Kansas City to be like. And then until really I moved here, I had no idea, the rich history, the pride, the people, just what there was, what Kansas City had to offer. Really.
I lived on the Plaza until recently, and what strikes me as unique about Kansas City is just how different the different districts within it are. I mean, with the Plaza, you're so close to Westport, and it feels like a different community completely than the Plaza is. And then you move downtown, and it's even more different. And obviously, the suburbs all offer something different. We're actually recording this from Pinnacle, the training center, which is, I don't think, much like what you see downtown in the actual city, but. Generally speaking, did you consider yourself, even before you moved here, more of a city guy?
Man, I don't know. I think, I've lived in, some places that, maybe they aren't the biggest cities per se, but there are big cities around within driving distance. And so I always kind of had that city in me, whether or not I was in the suburbs growing up or whatnot, or if I was in the city, close to, when I was in San Jose, being next to San Francisco, I'd spend a lot of time there. And so I always kind of had that big city mindset, regardless if I lived in one or not. And so I think when I came to Kansas City, it was I honestly I came in with an open mind, just to experience, and that was a big thing, because I went from North Carolina to California, which is a big shock. And change, and then coming to the Midwest in Kansas City, it's a completely different cultural. I guess shock as well. And so I've been a few places, and especially when people ask me to compare my time in California to Kansas City, I'm like, well, I preferred Kansas City. I prefer Kansas City to where I was in NorCal. SoCal may be a different story. I enjoy SoCal, but NorCal wasn't really my style. I think I like that community feel, especially that Kansas City has to offer. While all feeling like it's still a city, may not be a big city or a city that people come to think of, in the first 10 or 20 in their mind, but it still has a little bit of that feel, and I think that's been the perfect combination.
So when I mentioned just sort of the different areas and districts of the city, which ones do you kind of find yourselves gravitating toward?
Yeah, when I first moved there, I think it was big. I was big on Westport, and the Plaza a little bit as well. But now it's kind of shifted towards Crossroads up north to the River Market area. I think those are the two places that I really enjoy spending a lot of time. And in each district, I've got a favorite thing to do, or a favorite restaurant or whatnot.
So like in the Crossroads, just in case anyone out there, wants to kind of stalk you on Friday nights. I mean, what's kind of some of your favorite spots then?
Yeah, really, it just depends what you want to do. I mean, when Up Down first opened, I went there quite a bit, and actually saw your twin brother. And so I did a double take, because I didn't know you had a twin brother, so I thought it was you. So I was talking to him thinking it was you, and then he told me that it wasn't. So
that's happened a few times.
Yeah, that one, I learned that one, because I didn't say anything incriminating then. And then, I think there restaurants all in the Crossroads that are especially building up. I mean, from Corvino's to now Parlor, KC, which is just recently opened. I've been there once, which was a good time. Then they've got their little speakeasies that are right around the corner, Manifesto or whatnot. So it has a lot to offer. And I committed and got an electric scooter. I was tired of paying for birds.
Really?
I was tired of paying for birds and lions myself. So I went and invested and got my own.
How much is that thing?
Luckily, I actually had they can run anywhere from really, upper twos, low threes to 7, 8.
So I've always thought, though, when you bought one, and then where do you park it? Because don't you risk like somebody thinking that this is available for rent?
That is my big worry, and I'm looking into bike locks and figuring out how that. So I've taken it a couple of times, but I've taken it with my fiance, and usually, she has to rent a bird or a lime. That's like kind of sucks for her. But then I'll just have her we'll pick up something. I'll just have her out watching it, or I'll watch it while she's going inside, do whatever, grocery shop, whatever. So, but I need to invest in a bike lock, because I know that was my big concern.
It's amazing just how quickly those things popped up across the city. I tried one for, I think it was like 3 weeks ago. But I tried the lime one, and it was such a disaster just trying to get it to go. It kept sounding the alarm, and everyone around me, I think, thought I was trying to steal that one. But I eventually did get on the bird one. It was actually pretty cool.
Yeah, they're a good time. You feel
the district you were talking about is kind of the perfect area to have one.
Yeah, and I stay off main roads, so if you see me, actually, I've gotten double takes. I've gotten people like. I mean, I don't know. It's been an interesting experience for having one, but I mean, guys take them all the time, and it's. you got to be smart about it. I try to stay off the main roads if I'm ever on it or whatnot. But it's big for my fiance because she can commute to work with it if she needs. So I just, I'm convincing myself that I need it, even though I probably don't.
I've kind of always been amazed at the lack of walkers downtown, but it does make it a little bit of a good city for that sort of transportation. You don't get in a lot of people's way. There's not too much traffic to where you feel like you're weaving in and out. But that is one thing about downtown that is probably, even since you've been here, has certainly blossomed a little bit. Yeah. But still, I am always amazed at just the lack of foot traffic downtown.
Definitely. And when I mentioned being on the road, you go... And you're usually at the downtown airport or downtown Marriott. Yeah. And it's the weekend, and really until P&L at night, you don't really see anybody walking. So you're kind of like, all right, well, I'll see a skyline, but where are the people at? It's like it feels like a ghost town. But until you live in Kansas City, you don't understand the dynamic of why it feels that way. And really, it's just far enough west where. If you just go over the main and on the Walnut, and you see a lot more foot traffic. But there's just some parts of downtown that you don't see anybody, and really it's a lot of. And they've done a really good job, or trying to do a good job of bringing more condos, apartments, and all those things to the downtown area. But for the most part, it was just a bunch of people who just work down there, and then they go home to wherever else they live. Yeah. So I think I've seen that evolution a bit with downtown.
So, kind of going through some of your favorites, take me through maybe just like, obviously you're engaged now, so let's go maybe just kind of an ideal date night in Kansas City.
Oh, man. Yeah. It just, the season always makes it difficult, but we try to do day before the games at a restaurant. And so that's usually, and I'm not going to tell. I don't want to tell my restaurants because I don't want people to know about them.
But do you switch it up, or do you have favorites?
There's like a rotation of 3 or 4. For that. But in terms of
give us like the type of cuisine then.
If it's usually for day of game, it's going to be mostly Italian. Even though I can't stand pasta anymore. I've had it for so many weeks of my life, getting ready for games and whatnot. So I just force it down because I kind of know I need to do it. And it's been my routine for quite some time, but. I think if I move away from the soccer aspect of it, it's typically I think I've got some favorite restaurants such as Graham and Dunn. That was my staple when I first moved here, and then it's evolved to places like Corvino's, or even I love Bella Napoli down on the Brookside. Just in general, I think it's I don't know, it's just like it just feels very intimate, like family owned.
Sure.
And then if I move up to the River Market, I like Farmhouse for brunch a bit. But really, if you go to the square, there's tons of those, restaurants that are, quick and easy. Hibachi House. But yeah, for date nights, it just depends what we really want to accomplish. We can go fancy it up and, go to, somewhere on the plaza where we can, try to, try something new and, experience or branch out, and that's pretty cool. Kansas City, especially recently, has been popping up with all new restaurants, and so just so many to try. If you like to eat and drink, Kansas City is kind of made for you. But
I feel like it may be more controversial even than our first episode about the Kaepernick stuff that you did not mention any barbecue restaurants in your list.
I get asked that from very prideful North Carolinians, and I'm like, listen, I like to.
Because you guys have a different style in Carolina,
yeah, we do, but it's no doubt Kansas City. It's better. I mean, it's not a debate in my mind. The only debate is what's the best in Kansas City.
Yeah,
and I stick to it.
Which again is probably more controversial than our first episode.
it's Q39, really? Without a doubt. The sides of Jack Stuck are the best. But overall, the sauce makes it. Like, I wasn't a huge Arthur Bryant's fan.
Yeah.
Until like the second or third time I went.
The sauce is different.
Yeah. But I found one that I liked, and I forget what it's called, and that was it made it much more enjoyable. I was like, okay, I can get on board with it. The problem with Arthur Bryant's is it's so big that I feel like my heart's gonna stop. So I have to cut it in half, and then it's just not as good the next day. But I suck it up and I try to eat it again. So I've had barbecue 2 days in a row, and I feel bad about myself. Yeah. So
that's kind of like a cheat meal almost for an athlete, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, really, if you just go the protein route, it's not. It's okay.
Okay.
But when you start mixing in all the other things that you can get caught up with, it can get high in calories.
So Joe's isn't on your list then?
I mean, it's good.
To me, Joe's is the best here.
I mean, it's the best for how unique it is, I think. I mean,
Yeah.
a gas station, I mean, can't really beat that.
Yeah.
And I like that I can check out and grab a Reese's on the way out or something. But it's not me. It's not my favorite, but it's good. It's definitely good though.
So if you go to Q39, what do you order?
Man, usually it's. Well, now I haven't been in quite some time, which is good on me. But it used to be one of their award-winning ribbon ones, so I forget what it was. But usually it was like brisket with the onion straws on it, and I'm forgetting the name of it. Their ribs just.
The burger, you mean?
Yeah, the burger.
Yeah, that's like I think that's just like their classic burger. But that's a really good order there.
Yeah.
It's got the brisket on top of it. Yeah.
It's just one of the easy staple, safe. It's a safe choice if you want to play that route. But the ribs are just so tender, just fall off the bone.
Yeah.
And then they've got a closet good. I think apple crumble pie or with the ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
That's every now and again I'll commit to it. If I'm already going to Q39, sometimes I'm just gonna fully commit and just.
So what is the difference between Kansas City barbecue and like Carolina barbecue then?
Well, you got oil based or vinegar based, and so but you can find any of which in North Carolina. It's just one's more prevalent than the other.
Okay.
Where I grew up, honestly, I had the options of both.
But can you find the style you grew up with anywhere here in Kansas City?
Arthur Bryant's is, I think, and I might be wrong here, so if I am, someone tell me via Twitter. But I want to say it started in the South, in the Carolinas, because I remember talking to one of maybe it was the manager the first time that I went, and he was talking about how they moved from I'm pretty sure the Carolinas or somewhere, in the South, and came to Kansas City. We can look it up.
Yeah, we have Google at our fingertips. I feel like we should look this up.
Yeah, this is my credibility.
But that actually does taste
different.
Okay.
Than really all the other barbecues that I've had in Kansas City.
I'm only seeing Kansas City on this.
I'm gonna do some research and see where the original Arthur Bryant's, or maybe I don't know. Maybe he said the chef brought his recipe.
I think the 18th in Brooklyn might be the original. It opened in 1908.
Okay,
so that seems like it.
I mean, I could be wrong.
This is kind of funny here. It has a dress code for Arthur Bryant's.
Times have changed a bit.
I don't think that you can. I don't know what you could possibly wear to Arthur Bryant's that they would not serve you.
Yeah, I don't know either.
As long as you have something on, I feel like you're going to get served Arthur Bryant's.
Yeah, I would imagine. Or it could have been maybe the chef, came from the Carolina. I forget exactly what it was. But, yeah, you can definitely taste the difference between, North Carolina barbecue and Kansas City barbecue.
Hey, it's Blair Kirchhoff, and if you're listening to this, you love Kansas City sports, whether it's the Chiefs, Royals, Sporting, Mizzou, KU, or K-State. And no one covers these teams like the Kansas City Star. If you currently subscribe to the paper or have a digital subscription, thank you for your support. And if you don't, here's a great offer. It's called Sports Pass, unlimited digital access to every sports story and video on kansascity.com. And it's just $30 for the first year. It's the best sports value in town, just 8 cents a day or $2.50 a month. You can't beat that. Subscribe now at kansascity.com/sportspass.
So this week I asked some of our listeners just for a couple questions, and one of them actually relates to today's topic, which is somebody asked, what's the best concert you've been to here?
That's actually one of the New Year's resolutions that I had probably from 2017 was to 10 more concerts.
Yeah, did you actually?
I did.
Did you really? Okay.
Yeah, I was all over the place.
I think something like 10% of people actually followed through on that past like January.
Yeah, so me and my fiance, she's going to love the airtime she's getting here. We started this New Year's resolution where we every 3 months we go back and we look at what we write it down on a napkin. We go out to eat on New Year's Day at a restaurant. We write it down on the napkin of the place that we go eat.
Okay.
I know it's cheesy, right? But and then we write, I don't know, upwards of 15, 20 things that we want to try to accomplish for New Year's resolutions, and that was on there for 2017. And I think we hit It was high 80%.
Oh, okay.
Of the yeah. This year we're missing the we're missing the beat a bit, but yeah, it was best concert probably in Kansas City. I don't know. That's tough. I've seen quite a few, even before I made that resolution. But one of the most recent, like I didn't expect them to be pretty good, was One Republic.
Okay, that was at Sprint Center.
That was at Sprint Center, yeah.
Okay.
J. Cole was in town, and
Yeah.
that was really good.
The deal with your schedule is concerts. You got to just kind of cross your fingers. You guys are at home, or
Yeah.
you don't have a game away or something like that.
But when Taylor Swift comes to town, I don't feel, and we're playing that game. I don't feel that. I don't feel that bad about Miss Taylor Swift. Talented, but it's not for me here.
Do you have like a favorite concert venue, or do you go to any of the ones that are maybe a little bit less populated?
Yeah, I like the smaller venues. The Sprint Center, which is fine. I mean, it's still a good atmosphere in itself. But I like the smaller ones, such as Midland,
Yeah.
or Uptown.
Mm-hmm.
Those are probably my favorites. I've been to the one out in Blue Springs, the amphitheater. I think, yeah. And then I saw Florence and the Machine then.
Okay. You mean the Independence Event Center?
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's about 5,000 or 6,000 out there.
Yeah, and I had no idea where I was going. I've
Yeah.
never heard of it, and I clearly forgot all about it since I don't remember it.
The indoor team, the Missouri Comets, play there actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was that was pretty cool. But yeah, I like the smaller venues typically. Makes it more intimate.
So as promised, I'm gonna test just how much of a Kansas Citian you become in 6 years. This is like a list of the 8 things, it's about 8 things that it says every Kansas Citian has done, and if you're a tourist, you need to also do these things. And I'm gonna assume you're gonna get most of the 8, but let's at least see what you think of them. The first on the list is the Nelson. You haven't been to the Nelson?
Define the like
indoors. You have not
have
been,
not gone
you've
inside
never
of
gone
it. I've
indoors
just
at
driven
the
by
Nelson?
it, and every time I'm like, oh, I should go in there. I know they do yoga on the Nelson, and I'm like, oh, maybe I'll try that. And then I just
You've at least walked around it though.
No, in
You've
my
never
car.
even been
I
on
just
the ground
nope,
at all?
never parked my car. So I assume you've done it clearly.
Yeah,
Then.
well, I actually lived right across the street from the Nelson for like 4 years. My wife is a member, and most people would think this is outrageous. It says that the hours spent there, and this is on a U.S. travel, is half a day.
Oh,
and that's because my wife increases that average time. She's the person that goes and reads at an art museum every full description, and I'm like the kid on the field trip that's like, all right, let's get on to the next.
Yeah, no, I'm the same way.
Get on to the next thing. But
I understand, like when my parents would just sit on the bench and let the kids. Like I completely side with them.
Yeah.
when things like that happen.
no, it's an adventure going to the museum with her. But even so, I mean the Nelson. I'm surprised you at least haven't done the touristy picture by the shuttlecocks at some point.
That's my fiance. That's all her.
Yeah.
I'm
you
out.
guys can get your engagement photos, or maybe like your save the date photos. This would be a great spot for
So I have conceded, and I've said, okay, we can do a potential engagement party, but we will not take engagement
no photos. Not even.
I'm trying to put
like an invitation. It needs to be on the photo or something.
Let's see if we can find one from our old iPhone pics that we have, because I refuse to. Trying to put my foot in the ground. I don't even know her take on it, but that's what I say. If you want to have a potential engagement party, okay, but we're not doing engagement photos.
All right. Well, at some point next year, I feel like we're having an episode about you guys taking photos out of the shuttle.
Yeah, it probably somehow happened.
That would be like a full circle for this podcast. Number 2, I would actually be surprised if you have been to, which is Steamboat Arabia.
I have not. Know of it, but I haven't been.
Now, when I actually grew up here, and I moved away after graduating college and everything, but the first 2 on these lists are things that you have to go on field trips throughout. I mean, if you haven't been to those 2 or 3 times, then your school was doing something different than mine.
Yeah, there.
Number 3 is just Westport in general. And did you actually live there?
I have not,
okay.
no, but I've spent enough time in Westport.
Yeah, do you have a favorite spot in Westport?
Depends what I'm trying to do, but recently Kelly's Papa Shot has taken all of my dollars.
I was so mad when they got rid of the. They got rid of the Papa Shot for a couple months.
No, I would go with just friends on like a Tuesday night at like 7 p.m. and actually the I don't know if it's the bouncer or whoever it is, started just letting us in, and they knew we wouldn't even get a drink. We went straight to the back, put in whatever 21s, Try to make it rain back there.
So I feel like this is one of those things that everyone says they're good at. Like everyone always thinks they're a great Papa Shop player.
Well, I know who isn't. I'll tell you that. Even guys within our team. Roger is not.
Roger's not. Okay.
Roger's
I
awful.
wouldn't have guessed him.
You get better when you keep playing.
Let me take a guess at maybe who actually. I would guess that Matt and Graham might be two of the better guys.
Yeah, I haven't played with them. You know who's no longer here was Cam Porter was really good at it.
Oh, was he really? Okay.
Don't know. Yeah, he had the. But the thing about me is I'm a true purist in basketball form, so I try to do like a follow through and a shot. I don't just try to get the shots up.
I try to get as many shots up as possible.
That drives me insane. Like it's like the one handed, like just left hand, right hand.
I've seen those videos. Yeah. Those are unbelievable.
They are good, but I can't do it.
I got to get as many. In fact, if there's like a row of them at an arcade, I look for the one with the most basketballs in there because I feel like I got to get as many shots up as possible.
Well, we'll say this: you might hit an all-time low or high, depending on when you look at it. When you're taking balls out of the Dave & Buster's and taking them to another, I've done that one before because I felt a little low once.
All right, fourth on this list is doing the Boulevard Brewing Tour.
Yeah, I've done that.
Okay,
I've done that one. Yeah.
Do you have are you a Boulevard fan? Do you have like a favorite beer from there?
Yes, but I think they come up with when they do like the chocolate ales, those are always really good, seasonal ones. But I think the Tank 7 is the money maker for me. Whenever
I think that's a lot of people's favorites. The fifth one is very general as well, just like Westport. It's just the Plaza. I'm sure you've done that. You already mentioned a favorite restaurant there. Number 6 on this list is the World War I Museum.
I mean, I didn't know you could actually go in and then like go all the way to the top of the.
You haven't done like the skyline picture either. You haven't done any of the touristy stuff.
No. I mean, I've like been on on the platform overlooking the city, but I've never gone actually down or inside of it. Yeah, I actually do some workouts over there in the off season.
Oh, do you really?
So yeah,
what kind of workouts do you do?
Just off season, like if it's X amount minute runs, so let's say 4 times 4 minute runs. I'll run from maybe my place, and I'll end up some point during my workout on the World War Museum, and then we'll do that treacherous incline. That one's a humbling run. Or sometimes I'll go back towards like the dog park area, and then do that kind of track that's back there by the softball fields. So it just all depends.
7 is 2 things, which is Kaufman and Arrowhead.
Yep,
You've been to games a lot.
Do
you enjoy going to those? Because obviously those aren't the teams you grew up rooting for, so you're a neutral guy fan when you go in there.
Yeah, no, it's baseball was I liked playing baseball growing up, but all we had was a AAA team, the Durham Bulls, which is a great stadium and for AAA and atmosphere and environment. But yeah, I was never on a major league team. And so it's pretty cool to get to those games whenever I did. I don't go too much anymore because it's just now more difficult, and usually I'm trying to recover for the next day of practice or a game. So but I've been to both. They're both good experiences, and obviously when teams are winning, it's even better.
Yeah. Did you go to the playoff or World Series games when the Royals?
I did not. No, I did not. I regret it, but I was still able to be a part of be in the city and be a part of the celebration when it happened. That was a nightmare day, the parade, but it was cool to see.
I know that you're a big sports fan. That's definitely something we'll talk about on future podcasts, just some of the other sports you follow and things like that. The last one on this list is Power and Light District. What's like your favorite spot in Power and Light?
Well, that depends. If you just want to watch a game, no other pub. It's a little weird going there though.
Yeah.
For me at the same time. But no other pub is one of the better places to watch a game. And then
it's like you could wear your jersey in there.
Yeah,
make it go full brand.
Maybe I should do that. Maybe people would be like, okay, that couldn't be him. Why would you be wearing his jersey here? And then it's got entertainment to do with the bowling and the golf, simulation golf, which my game can use a lot of work. And then if I was into the nightlife. It was Mosaic, and then I get my eardrum blown out. So I was like, okay, I'm probably done here. And then Johnny's Tavern for wings. I think I like to go there. My first few years quite a bit, just hang out. Did some fantasy drafts there with a group of guys, so that was fun. But yeah, it's just it's a lot to do with food, and so I'm trying to be and I've tried to experience all of them over the course of my time there. But now some of them are changing ownership groups, and so it's kind of tough to keep up with.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't spend all that much time in P&L really, but every now and again those concerts that are there, are cool to just see seeing people in downtown and on a non-weekend really.
Mm-hmm. Now, but you actually just said something that prompted a question. Most of those concerts are like country concerts. Are you?
Yeah, no, I'm not. No, I'm not there for country concerts.
You didn't strike me as like that sort of fan.
I'll say this though, I like all kinds of music. Really, I do. And I'm sure I like certain country songs. Like I'm a fan of music regardless of the genre. But as a whole, it's not my go-to or even really on my radar. But I think it's just seeing people out, whether you're going to the concert or not. Like I'll just be going through town doing whatever, and I'll see people out, and that gets you excited, gives you life.
Energy,
exactly. It's like when you go out in New York, you feel like this whole new person because you got people everywhere, and you're like, I just want to do something.
Something's going on,
right?
Yeah.
You don't have anything in mind, but you're just like, I want to do something. Just people around, so that's pretty cool. When Kansas City, when there's just events like that happening anywhere really in Kansas City.
I guess lastly, to kind of a note to end on is, how do you think that maybe Kansas City, if at all, has sort of changed you just over 6 years, just being a resident of this city for over half a decade now?
Man, I don't know. It's just been, I've been here since 2013 really, and I was probably 23 or 24. So 23, 24 to 29 now, and that's a pretty big, developmental stage and growth period in my life, and just understanding, relationships or meeting new people. Seeing culture, just any kind of insight that I could during pretty big development years for me has been, one of those things that I truly appreciate and value. And it's been something that, I think when I got traded here, I never expected to be here for 6 years. It was kind of in my head like, all right, I played 3 years in San Jose. Let's play three or 4 years in Kansas City. And if it goes well, I can keep playing. Let's play 3 or 4 years in a new market and try a new experience. And if that goes well, maybe play 3 or 4 somewhere else in a new market, experience a new culture. And it's been like, all right, well, I've been here for 6. So, I think it's been, I don't want to, I'm trying not to say this with any sort of disrespect, but just, it beat my expectations or whatever I hoped or imagined because, I didn't know. But I think, in a part of, credit to myself is I went in full arms. I was ready to embrace whatever it was. And, I think that was one of the things that I've learned just throughout my travels and through people that I've met is always trying to keep that open mind and experience something. And if it's negative, learn from it, learn why it was and try to grow and become better. And luckily it's been, mostly positive. So it's made it a lot easier.
All right, we'll end there. Thanks again, Ike, for joining us again this week, and we'll be back next week. Thanks a lot, guys, for listening.